Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we are talking about the spell Danse Macabre.
It's puppet.
Yeah,
Uh, a corpse puppet, which is a little bit more grim, a little bit more macabre, one might say.
macabre.
Yeah, I like the spell. I like the spell a lot. The spell was a little bit overdue because Necromancy was a little bit weak in the PHP for most people. Like it was kind of hard to bring together. And this is a really easy way to make it come together.
All right, well, before we talk about it in comparison with other necromancy spells, what does it
Mhm.
do?
Okay, 5th level from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. This is a Necromancer spell. Cast out of an action range of 60 feet, verbal somatic components, got concentration up to an hour, which is okay. Lasts an hour. Lots of stuff happening. Threads of dark power leap from your fingertips to pierce up to 5 small or medium corpses you see within range. Each corpse immediately stands up and becomes undead. You decide whether it's a zombie or skeleton. This is for the such are in the monster manual, and it gains a bonus to its attack and damage rolls equal to your spell casting ability modifier. You can use a bonus action to mentally command the creatures you make with the spell, issuing the same command to all of them. To receive the command, a creature must be within 60 feet of you. That's kind of important. You decide what action the creature will take and where they will move during the next turn, or you can ensure a general command such as guarded chamber or passageway against your foes. If you issue no commands, it does nothing except defend themselves. Once given an order, the creature continues to follow that task until complete. So basically, if you have one big bad, you can bonus action kill the big bad, and until that big bad is dead, the zombies, the skeletons, whatever you make, are going to hit it. The creatures are under your control until the spell ends, afterwards they become inanimate once more. So they just die again. So they don't run around still killing people, which is a big upside of Animate decks. When you animate at them, they run around and try and kill people after that. Upcasting it, you get 2 extra per spell above 5th. So there's a reason to cast this at 6th level, 7th level slot sometimes. Going from 5 to 7 to 9 zombies, that's a large quantity of things. And generally speaking, large amounts of things are better than smaller amounts of things. Who would have thought? Yeah, I think Danse Macabre is pretty sweet. What about you?
Yeah, it's cool. One question. You have to be within 60 feet to issue a command. That
Mhm.
doesn't, but you don't have to be within 60 feet to maintain the spell.
Correct.
So you can say, all right, you 5 zombies, go wreak havoc in that village. And
They
meanwhile,
will
you
do so.
just sit back and laugh or whatever you do.
And drink lemonade, yes.
Right.
Play your fiddle while Rome burns.
Hmm.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that's not the use case I'm ever using this for, but that's the thing you're allowed to go to, I guess.
All
Is
right.
send your zombies out
I
to
just
terrorize
wanted
the
to
village.
clear up that rule, the wording there.
Yeah,
Um,
if
what
you
are
if you got like a monster 120 feet away and you say go kill the monster while they're within 60 feet of you, they will spend their turns dashing at it until they get there and they'll try and kill it. You can't issue any new commands to them until you get to them though. So you have to like if that's a consideration that you actually have to think about. And I love that. This is what makes you want to reposition to give your zombies new commands once old commands get finished. Which I think is cool.
well, I mean, the reason I brought up that example is I was just thinking it's a concentration spell. So, the farther away from the havoc they're wreaking you are, the less chance of, having your concentration broken.
True. I mean, zombies having just like 5 things in front of you also does tend to be a pretty good
Yeah.
way to maintain your concentration. Like most things are melee, so having just be like zombies get in front, like you keep one of them in front of you, and you say the rest go out and kill shit, right? And then you have a pretty good time. Oh, never mind. You have to give the same command to all of them, so you can't have one defend you and the
Mm.
rest go out. They all have to go do the same thing. Little bit of a bummer, but still, you can be like guard me and kill things that comes near me is a pretty good. Kill those things pointing to the enemies that come near me, and you'll have a pretty good time with it if you want to play defensively.
Yeah. The, uh, what was that one where the spell where you project yourself to the monologue spell?
Oh, protect image, right?
Is that yeah? Is that
I think so.
concentration?
I think so.
Ah, shucks. Because I
Because
was
it'd be
thinking
cool
you
if you
could
could do
you could
both.
have a fake self yourself being guarded, and people are wondering why can't I break this guy's concentration?
It's because that's not the real you. Counter
Yeah.
probably is the real you in this case, unfortunately.
All right. Well, that's ridiculous. We were talking about Danse Macabre.
That's true.
So this is a 5th level spell. We recently discussed Animate Dead, which is a 3rd level spell, but can be upcast, correct?
Yes.
And now, what's the difference between Danse Macabre and an upcast Animate Dead?
So Animate Dead for a 3rd level slot gives you 1 zombie or skeleton under your control. When you upcast Animate Dead, I will pull it up literally right now. You get additional zombies per spell level. I believe it is 1 per spell level, so I think a 4th level gives you 2, 5th level gives you 3, etc., etc. I'll double check that. It's loading as we speak. So it doesn't, as a 5th level slot, at higher levels, you animate 2 extra zombies for each level above 3rd. So you would have 5 with Animate Dead, where you'd have only 3 or 5 with Danse Macabre.
You'd have
so
5
it does,
with this too. Yeah.
yes. For a 4th level slot, you get 3. For a 5th level, you get 5. There's some pretty large differences. The first being Animate Dead has a minute cast time, so it's not like a spontaneously, I have a bunch of things under my control now. You have to like hunt down and find the zombies. Another really, really big difference is Danse Macabre gives them bonuses to damage. Like, them getting to add your spellcasting mod to their attack and damage rolls means all of a sudden they're not using the zombies +2 to hit. They're using your +6, 7 to hit with all their regular to hit. So these things are going to hit like a bus, as opposed to the D6 +1 claw attack the zombie's going to be making. So they are a far more lethal threat that way. That's a really big upside Danse Macabre has over Animate Dead. Another big upside, for some, myself included, is there's no maintenance on it. You can just Danse Macabre, get your things up when you need it, throw them at people, and not have to worry about reasserting control, not have to worry about maintaining their hit points, keeping them patched up, keeping them around. You don't have to play that minigame if you don't want to. It's a really convenient way to play a Necromancer without having to jump through and make sure, like, every single long rest, these spell slots have to be dedicated to make sure I have Undead, we've budgeted these spell slots to do other things, and you're trying to maximize your efficiency of having as many zombies under your control at a time, while also, you can instead just say, Danse Macabre, when I want zombies, I can get zombies usually. There is the one consideration of you need 5 corpses nearby for this to work, so you do have to, like, either do it ahead of time, either seek out corpses to be like, huzzah, we have bodies, or the more fun and grim way, just carry 5 along the mule.
Oh, I thought you were going to say kill somebody.
Oh, that works too. That's there are going to be actually some encounters where you like, we killed 5 kobolds, great. Danse Macabre, go kill your boss. It's going to be pretty fun.
Are we still comparing the two?
We can be.
All right, because I mean that's also the case with Animate Dead. You need Dead to animate.
Yeah, with Animate Dead, once you do it though, hypothetically, they'll follow you around and transport themselves. With Danse Macabre, only live for less than an hour, so once the hour's over, they're just corpses again, and you have to move the corpses, which is slight difference, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Animate Dead, they could potentially last forever. That doesn't end, right?
It does. It lasts. So the control of them lasts for 24 hours.
24. That's right.
You have to spend spell slots to reassert control of them, but they'll remain animated indefinitely.
So, all right. So I guess that's a plus in Animate Dead's favor. 24 hours of control, but I don't know that. Yeah, I guess 24 hours versus 1 hour. That's not nothing.
I still think a -7 to hit damage is a pretty brutal, especially if you're trying to. If you want to have the satisfaction of eating people with zombies, you want the zombies to be good at eating people. The difference that there is between the two is, I mean, there's the duration or difference. There is the spontaneous difference. So like you can in combat Danse Macabre, you don't have to. You don't have to prepare ahead of time your zombies to go in on it.
That's important too, because like if you're a guy walking around with 5 zombies, that's a lot different than if you're a guy just walking around with your friends.
It also is the kind of spell where you can, in the midst of a bigger fight, find 5 corpses within 60 feet of you that have been made there and now have a way to use Danse Macabre. It's going to be less likely to hit that instance, I think. I think you're going to want to have them prepared on you. I think it's going to be far more efficient and consistent if you bring the zombies along. But it does have the real use case of point, all those come up, go kill your boss. Go kill whoever else is in the room, right? You're in a mausoleum or whatever. It's extra juicy gravy. I think that this is the quality of life update that Necromancy really needed. I would have loved to see a 3rd level version of this and gave you 3. I think that would be really fun and could be just like a side grade to Animate Dead in a really meaningful way, because they're not permanent, so there are real downsides. Like a lot of the perks of Animate Dead come with the servant utility of just having 3-4 bodies that you can have perform tasks for you, run errands. Like, it might sound ridiculous, but in some campaign settings, in some worlds, zombies aren't necessarily, like, with Necromancy isn't evil capital E evil, and Undead aren't, I hate all of the living and must consume all souls. You can get some real practical utility out of it. Even in those worlds where it is, Undead eat all souls, being a wizard in your tower and having 6 different zombies running up and down it to do all of the little menial tasks that's part of your spellcasting, having 6 extra hands, 6 extra sets of hands to do stuff with is useful. Out adventuring a little bit less useful, but they still set off traps really well. They still do a lot of the exploration stuff you'd want them to. You can make them form into a little pyramid that you can climb on top of and use them as ladders. Like, zombies are surprisingly good at doing a lot of dumb, pointless things that you really just are like, I wish we had hirelings for this, and you have zombies instead, and it's really convenient. That's where Animated, I think, is going to really shine over this.
All right, now these aren't the only 2 options. We're at 5th level spells here, but when you get next level, you get Create Undead.
We've talked about Create Undead a pretty good amount at length. I think you should watch I think we talk about it in 9th level wizard spells. We talk about it somewhere. Create Undead is a really a 8th level spell disguised as a 6th level spell, because whites are so much better than ghouls. And if you can get whites, it's like unquestionably better than this, because whites will be like, you have multiple groupings of the Animate Dead casting Undead under your control, because they just go massacre a village, and then you've got a bunch of zombies, and it's great.
Yeah, we have talked about this, yes. Let's take the super, I hesitate to use the term white power, but take whites off the table.
Okay, so just
like
ghouls.
Just standard Create Undead versus Danse Macabre.
Okay, so standard Create Undead gives you a handful of ghouls under your control. And ghouls are actually kind of hitting the same problems that zombies hit. Their hit mod isn't that great. They're not doing really all you want them to be doing damage-wise, and their saves are like DC 11 for their effects, which leaves them pretty ineffective at the tier you get them. They tend to be just bags of hit points that get beat up and die, and they don't hit a whole lot. Their AC is only 12, they only have 22 HP. They do 2d6 plus 2 damage, that's a lot worse than the d6 plus enormous mod. So like, I don't love having them. Like, their claws are 2d4 damage with the paralysis effect, but it's a DC 10 paralysis save. Yeah, I think I'd rather have 7 skeletons under my control that are shooting short bows and doing.
All right, you're talking about upcasting this to 6th level.
Oh yeah, we're comparing the two, right?
Right. Yeah.
Spell. Danse Macabre is a 6th level spell in that instance, right?
So
I think
in
you're
that
gonna have
case,
a way
you
better
would
time.
have 2 additional corpses. Yeah, so 7 total. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 7 corpses with your bonuses to attack and damage.
That seems a lot better to me. Like it seems better to you too, right? Like, skeletons come with a short bow attack, and you just bring around short bows with them. They have access to it. Like, why not? That's in the monster manual and the stat blocks for it. Also, quick note here: skeletons are almost always better than zombies, because zombies tend to just, unless you really need a giant sack of hit points, skeletons are probably better because they have a ranged attack option. In comparison with Create Undead, though, skeletons versus ghouls, it's 3 ghouls versus 7 skeletons, and more numbers is better, I think. 2d4
especially
plus 2,
with range.
Yeah, and a better to hit mod, right? They get +7 to hit. Their skeletons are getting plus their initial mod, which is 2 plus 1. I think it's 3. Then plus your also to hit mod, which is your spellcasting ability modifier, right? So you're getting a nice big chunky bonus to hit. It's actually pretty close on hit, but the damage numbers are so big. The difference there is so much larger that, yeah. I don't think you are casting Create Undead over this.
Well, for ghouls.
For ghouls, yes.
Yeah.
It also has the same Undead or Animate Dead problems where it's a minute cast time. All the things that we said that Animate Dead is worse for, Create Undead is also worse for.
Yeah. All right. I feel like we covered that pretty well. Anything else you want to say about Danse Macabre?
It's sweet. I think it's really fun to play the Necromancer fantasy. I think it can be really difficult if you don't like managing a bunch of stuff. However, if you don't like managing a bunch of stuff, Danse Macabre is kind of like managing just one thing, because they all do the same thing. Right. So you don't get like the little mini game of having to give all of them separate commands to run around and do a bunch of stuff. They'll do what you want them to do, and they'll do it pretty efficiently. I just pulled up skeletons. They do get +4 they get +5 to hit. So you're adding your spell mod onto that to be like +9 to 10 to hit. That's really good. With a short bow attack, that's hitting a d6 +7. That's really good. You can just have a little battery of archers behind you. That seems great. Plus, there's gonna be a lot of rich flavor there. I think if you're playing the Necromancer fantasy, this is a huge quality of update that you've been waiting for. I think if you're a warlock or wizard in the market to do some cool necromancy stuff, grab some dead bodies, throw them on the camel, and have some fun with Danse Macabre.
Yeah, all right. That's an advertiser right there. All right. Well, that was Danse Macabre. Thank you, Sam, and thank you. Oh, wait, whoa, we didn't rate it.
4 out of 5.
4 out of
I
5.
think it's great. It's powerful.
Ooh, I'm looking at these like comparing it to the other two we talked about. I'm gonna give it a 5 because fun
Sweet.
times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. That I decree. All right. All right. That was Danse Macabre. Thank you, Sam, and thank you everyone for joining us. We will see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it. A gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description, where you'll find my Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.